Winning the lottery looks like the ultimate escape. One ticket, one moment, and suddenly every problem disappears. That's the story people like to tell, but what almost no one talks about is what happens after the cameras leave. Because most lottery winners don't lose their money slowly. They don't lose it through bad investments or luxury spending alone. They lose it through exposure, through pressure, through a complete absence of protection. And the most dangerous part? They never see it coming, because money arrived before they understood what money attracts. For most people, wealth is imagined as a gradual climb. You earn more, you adapt, you learn. But the lottery doesn't work like that. It doesn't arrive politely. It doesn't give you time to adjust. It explodes into your life. One day you're anonymous. The next your name is public record. Your city, your neighborhood, your face. Suddenly you're no longer just a person. You're a resource, and resources attract attention. Not admiration, attention. That distinction matters, because attention is not neutral. Attention creates pressure, and pressure reveals weakness. The first thing that changes isn't your bank account, it's your environment. People start watching. Neighbors notice patterns. Strangers recognize you. Your daily routine becomes predictable. And predictability is dangerous. Not just financially, psychologically. Because once people know where you are, what you do, and how much you have, you stop living freely. Every interaction carries weight. Every no feels like cruelty. Every yes feels like a precedent. Friends appear with urgency. Relatives reconnect with stories. Opportunities arrive disguised as generosity. And no one tells you how to filter any of it. You're expected to decide instantly who deserves access to your life. Most people were never trained for that. Here's something uncomfortable. Money removes limits faster than it creates wisdom, and limits are what keep people sane. Before the money, life had boundaries, schedules, constraints. After the win, those boundaries disappear. Sleep becomes irregular. Trust becomes selective. Thoughts become louder. Many lottery winners describe the same internal shift. I couldn't tell who was genuine anymore. That uncertainty is exhausting. Because now every conversation feels strategic. Every relationship feels transactional. And when the mind is under constant evaluation mode, clarity disappears. Decisions become emotional. And emotional decisions are expensive, not because they're irrational, but because they're reactive. Most people think lottery winners go broke because they spend too much. Cars, homes, trips. But spending is just the visible layer. The real damage happens quietly, through lawsuits, through bad advice, through unmanaged taxes, through helping the wrong people for too long. Money leaks through cracks no one taught them to seal. There are no systems, no filters, no legal distance between the person and the wealth. Everything sits in one place, and when something goes wrong, everything is exposed. This isn't irresponsibility, it's architecture failure. Old money doesn't arrive suddenly. It arrives controlled, layer by layer, rule by rule. No individual ever touches everything. Wealth is separated from emotion, from identity, from ego. Mistakes don't destroy the whole structure. They're absorbed. And that's the difference. Old money isn't smarter. It's protected. It understands that money itself is fragile, but systems aren't. Where lottery money lands on a person, old money lives inside architecture. Most people think wealth is about comfort, but comfort fades quickly. Control compounds. Old money invests in silence, in separation, in time. Not because it fears attention, but because it understands exposure. The loudest wealth is the weakest, because anything visible can be targeted. Anything emotional can be manipulated. Anything centralized can collapse. The lottery doesn't destroy people. It reveals what was never built. Old money survives mistakes because it was designed to. Lottery money collapses under success because it never learned restraint. The fastest way to lose wealth is to receive it before you're protected. And the greatest advantage in the world is not being seen until you're ready.